Part 1. The Night He Vanished. My name is Elena Marlowe. I am 34 years old, and people call me one of the most powerful businesswomen in the country. Wealth, success, influence, I had everything. Or at least that's what the world believed. 6 months ago my husband disappeared. No warning. No explanation. Just silence, and a set of signed divorce papers left on the table. My father, Victor Marlowe, didn't seem surprised. In fact, he told me not to waste my time searching. He called Adrian a nobody, a man who was never worthy of our name. But I knew my husband. Adrian wasn't the kind of man who would walk away without a reason, so I refused to sign. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and with every passing moment, the silence became heavier. My daughter Sophie was gone with him. No calls, no messages, nothing. The mansion felt emptier than ever. My father kept repeating the same thing. He left you. Accept it. But something inside me refused to believe that lie. Because love like ours doesn't just disappear overnight. Then one day everything changed. I was visiting one of our construction projects on the outskirts of the city. It was supposed to be a routine inspection. Just another business day. Until I saw him. Covered in dust. Wearing worn-out clothes. Lifting cement like an ordinary laborer. Adrian, my husband, the man who vanished without a trace, was standing right in front of me. And in that moment I knew. The truth behind his disappearance was going to change everything. Part 2. The truth he couldn't tell. For a moment I couldn't move. My eyes stayed locked on Adrian as if looking away would make him disappear again. 6 months of pain, questions, and sleepless nights. And now he was here standing in front of me like a stranger. Then anger took over. I walked toward him, my heart pounding. Before I could stop myself, my hand struck his face. The sound echoed across the site. Why? My voice trembled. Why did you do this to us? Adrian didn't react. He just looked at me, tired, broken. Lower your voice, he said quietly. Don't tell me what to do. I snapped. You disappeared. You took Sophie. You left divorce papers like I meant nothing. For a second he stayed silent. Then he said something that made my chest tighten. Your father came to see me the night I left. Everything inside me froze. What? I whispered. Adrian took a slow breath. He wasn't alone. He brought 2 men with him. A strange fear crept into my chest. He told me if I didn't leave you, Adrian continued, his voice heavy, Sophie would never see another birthday. The world around me went silent. I stared at him, unable to process his words. That's not possible, I said weakly. But Adrian didn't look away. He made me sign the divorce papers, he added. He said I was a stain on your family, that you deserved someone better. My father's words, his cold expressions suddenly made sense. And Sophie? I asked, my voice shaking. She's safe, Adrian replied quickly. With my sister. Your father doesn't know where she is. Relief hit me, but it was quickly replaced by something darker. Rage. For 6 months I had been living a lie. I looked at Adrian again. The man I loved had been hiding, suffering, all because of my own father. I thought you stopped loving me, I whispered. His eyes softened. Never. Tears filled my eyes, but this time they weren't from sadness. They were from realization. And anger. I wiped my face slowly. A week later, my father hosted one of his grand gatherings. The mansion was filled with powerful business partners, relatives, and the same people who admired him without knowing the truth. And sitting beside him was the man he always wanted me to marry. Perfect. When I walked in, the room slowly fell silent. Elena, my father smiled. You look well. I assume you finally moved on. I didn't answer. I walked straight toward him. I have something to say, I announced. The room grew still. My father's smile faded slightly. This isn't the time. For 6 months, I interrupted. You told me my husband abandoned me. Whispers spread across the room. You called him worthless, I continued. A beggar. Elena, enough, my father said sharply. But I didn't stop. You forced me to sign divorce papers. Now everyone was watching. Then I looked directly into his eyes. But you forgot one thing. Silence. I found him. The room went completely quiet. And do you know what he told me? I continued slowly. My father's expression changed. You threatened him, I said. Gasps filled the room. You told him if he didn't leave, you would kill his daughter. That's a lie, my father snapped, but his voice lacked strength. The man you called nothing, I said, spent 6 months working as a laborer just to protect his family. No one spoke. Not a single word. I removed the diamond ring from my finger, the symbol of everything he built, and placed it on the table. You didn't protect me, I said calmly. You destroyed my family. My father's jaw tightened. I did what was best for you. No, I replied. You did what was best for your empire. Then I said the words that shattered everything. I choose my family. Gasps echoed through the room. I turned and walked toward the exit. If you leave, my father shouted, don't come back. I paused for just a second, but I didn't turn around. And then, I kept walking. Part 4: What Really Matters. Outside the gates, a car was waiting. Adrian stood beside it. Clean clothes but the same tired eyes. When he saw me, uncertainty crossed his face. I stopped in front of him. Are you ready to go home? I asked. He looked confused. Home. I smiled faintly. Wherever we are together. For a moment he said nothing. Then he nodded. We got into the car and drove away, leaving behind the mansion, the power, and the man who thought money could control everything. As the city lights passed by, I felt something I hadn't felt in months. Peace. Because in the end, the truth was simple. The man they called worthless was the only one who never gave up on me. And this time, I wasn't going to let him go.